This is Giovanni Marks. It's the Crevolution, Crevision State of Address 2011, number 3 or 4. It's been kind of late coming because all kind of things have been going on. People have been walking along with just fall to the wayside. People have fallen and gone elsewhere. People have passed on, rest in peace. So versus getting into a normal rant, I'm just going to go through the little 5 things, the questions of today, and seeing what people are tripping off of. Just stuff like cold off of different social networks over the last X amount of time. Question number 1, what is up with you and lab waste? Or what is up with lab waste? Not me and lab waste, what is up with lab waste? Right now we're not working on anything because we worked on like 2.5 records full of stuff over the last few years, and we own our masters to our first record again, and no one cares. So it's like, for all those people who like a good thing, you got to remember, you guys are consumers. So it's like you get something of the end result. It's not like you like something, so then it should pop up. That's selfish as hell. And same, we said it. It's kind of a thing of like, you like s.h.a.r.k because you heard it, because it was out, because it came out. But if you didn't know it was supposed to come out, you would never know about it. You like the video because you saw the video, Dope Beat or whatever. But it's like maybe you didn't go get the vinyl because the vinyl was too expensive because that label sold it for that price to make their money back. Maybe you didn't get s.h.a.r.k at all because you couldn't find it because that label had limited resources to promote a record. Maybe you didn't even touch the Lab Waste record because it said Mush on it. You hate Mush because they're a label that you don't really fuck with, even though they don't fuck with us or me. So this was something that you just purposely didn't touch. Maybe you heard it and thought it was too fucking electro or techno for you and everything, so you didn't think it was hip-hop enough, so you just did a pterodactyl, not the rapper, the old dinosaur, meaning old. You just did an old thing and fucking just dismissed it for some shit that sounds like something that came out fucking 13 years ago. Whatever it is, that's what you did, and after a while, that's just duly noted, so Dave and I, we both just kind of moved on to other things. I still love that dude, that's my family, makes no mistake there, but it's kind of like do analytics. Mush drops the k.e.a.r record with Dave producing it. It gets real promo and press. You guys know about it. All of a sudden, it's a great record. And k.e.a.r can go out and promote himself and do his thing right. How he deserves because he works very hard to do that. b.e.a.r licensed that record, so it's in Europe now. They can go play Europe whenever they want to, even if it's just one record. This carries on to Dave's record for b.e.a.r or whatever. They pick his record up. Mush puts it out in America. b.e.a.r puts it out in Europe or whatever they did. And I mean, even though none of these dudes involved are on this label anymore, that just sets them up for whatever they want to do next. That there's nothing about them that says Lab Waste. And even though I'm rapping on k.e.a.r's record and making a beat over on Dave's record, that doesn't mean nothing. That's their work. Thank you for letting me be involved in that stuff. But that doesn't sell. Like, appearances don't sell records. So it's like, as much as my discography catalog is out of control and I work with everybody and anybody, that doesn't really mean that I have what it takes to go out and put out records on these labels that you see, like the Mushes and the Plug Researches and I guess the Alpha Pups and the b.e.a.r's and all that shit for 2011 or Anaconda. So because of this, I don't care. So Lab Waste, you're not going to see Lab Waste until we can sell you a record the way we used to sell records, because that's the only way you're going to know about that shit. You're not going to know about it any other way. You're not going to go out of your way to find it. You're not going to, click your heels. We had a blog that no one followed and a Twitter page that no one followed. And we were giving you free shit away every day on the blog. So, yeah, there you go. All right, b.e.a.r. What's up with b.e.a.r? Briefcase Rockers. We're on a half hiatus right now while I figure out how we're going to do our next things, because it's the same problem as Lab Waste. You can only do so much with no money and no real support. And when people in your, whatever you have in your little conglomeration aren't really doing nothing, because they're waiting for you to do it, because it's what you should be doing, then you're kind of fucked. Like the mistake that I made with Briefcase was making it a record label, because I was figuring if I get the real sick roster of good people who deserve to put out records, somebody will step up with some money or with the precedent distribution deal like they do these other whack labels or whatever, or good labels. They step up and they'll, make that shit happen because it's a sure thing, right? No. So, I spent a lot of time, trying to get these rosters and get these people to commit to doing these records. When they had other labels, unbeknownst to me, or maybe known to me, they had other labels either sniping, our shit or just straight up just negotiating with them their fucking self. but they have more to offer, like money or in some kind of, you know, avenue to do stuff, you know. So this being said, you know, a lot of dudes just decide to go do that thing, or they decide to, you know, use their money and their little resources they have cracking to make their own label, or they jump to labels that were actually doing stuff, you know, whatever it is. So for me, I looked up and I kind of realized, you know, with the Hellfire Records thing or Hellfire Club thing going over here, and then all these other randoms like Zero and the homie Selfish Charles and all these dudes are putting out fucking bangers by themselves. You know, there's no need for us to do what we've been doing, like selling you records that you don't know about, trying to promote artists that already have 5 things out that year, trying to give away stuff online for free for fools who have their own blog and they can do it their fucking self. They have their own club nights and shit. What's up, Verbs? There's not much for you to do, you know, like by tuning in with us. You know, we're not really tastemakers. There's no one in America that's really trying to promote Briefcase Rockers like I promoted everywhere else. So until I get back home, I'm not really tripping right now. You know, so it's a thing where, yeah, we got a couple records. One of them probably is not going to come out on the label. I'm not going to mention which one that is because I don't want to give them more press than they deserve, which is none. And one of them is, but I won't say when because that dude's doing very, very good things right now, and I want to make sure it's in his best interest. So that's that. We're supposed to re-release the Lab Wave stuff on there. I probably won't do that. What's up with s.h.a.r.k bait? s.h.a.r.k bait is 83% done. You know, it just needs to get mixed and mastered and probably just a little bells and whistles. But I'm not even working on that right now just because the same thing, man. It's like, you know, how much can you do with no capital? And it's not like I'm like this, like, but I'm gonna get back to this in a second. It's like, yeah, I did a fucking great record with no money, you know, out of my own pocket, quote unquote. Like I used the money from the little money, the third of what I was trying to get from Trunk Bomb to put it back out. I used, you know, that little thing to put back into s.h.a.r.k bait, and that still is enough to get it mixed and mastered. Like, you know, it's enough to record it and get the you know, little things to make sure it could actually happen, you know, but yeah, you know, guest appearances on it, who gives a fuck, all that stuff. It doesn't matter. If there's nothing to really amp the idea, people are waiting to see what you do next. And if this is what you do next and you're fucking around, you're wasting people's time. So they're not going to pay attention. They'll be, oh yeah, friend, yeah, there goes Gino rapping again, there goes Subtype. But that's not really them buying records. That's not them going to shows. That's not them supporting this digital shit. That's not them writing articles about the shit. None of this. So until I have the capital in front of me to drop like a real fucking record like I did Young Dangerous Heart, like, you know, fucking I'm always recovering when it's on more than one format and that shit's getting fucking worked and I have a single and you can hear it. It's not like a thing where I have a song that should be a single, like Leggings of the Style of the Day for Lasita Strobe, but it's not like people were touching that shit, you know? Like, I got singles for this record. I got all that shit because I've been doing this and I understand what publishing checks are. I understand how to make a record. You know, I'm not these dudes who are trying to express myself over and over again. I spent the fucking first half of the 2000s doing that on CDR. So I got records. But I don't want to put out a record just to put out a record. You know, it has to get the support these other records have got just to prove that it can work so it can stay working. That's the whole point. That's why b.e.a.r would even been something, because it's all momentum, you know? So, while s.h.a.r.k bait's done, I say it's going to drop in 2 seasons. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of randoms that talk a lot of random yin-yang about stuff, you know, and that they don't put out records. So we'll see what I do. What else is this? Moving right along. LA, when am I coming home? I don't know. I'm supposed to come home this month in April. And due to unforeseen circumstances, I did not. So we'll see what happens. It's been suggested that I do everything from work at home, internet fucking whatever, you know, to let me see, to kickstart, to try to fund my way back home. But that sounds so fucking pathetic, I can't even fucking believe it. So I don't even want to fucking think like that. It's like really hard to fucking battle that one. Because, I mean, what do you do? It's like, it's not cheap to fly around. You know, it's cheap to fly around Europe when fucking it costs less than to take the bus in LA, but it's not cheap to fly back and forth. And the difference is this: when you're not making a gang of money a year, you know, all this shit is up. It's one thing if I was at home in LA, you know, in a home working or whatever, and then thinking about all this shit, because then I'd have, you know, normal money and I could fucking go live, and then everything after that is bonus. You know, when you're out here doing it, and you're on the fucking blast, and you're just trying to, you know, you're going by what other people tell you because that's all you can do, because that's what your quote unquote team does. Yeah, you'll put yourself out there in any which way. You'll look fucking stupid as fuck, you know, because you're still trying to do your thing. You're trying to live your dreams versus living your reality, which is that anything can happen and none of this shit is for you. So, with that whole thing of LA, like I'm trying to get back by the first week of May. That's the idea. We'll see if that really happens because we're in the first week of April right now. If I can get back the first week of May, that'll be tight. If you guys see this and you haven't already done so, go buy Trunk Bomb. I think I'm gonna price it at $5. And my rationale is 60 to 80 people buy Trunk Bomb for $5, then that's enough money to fly to the house. You know, so that'll be good. We'll see what happens. But I don't know about this the whole kickstart shit. I also don't know about the kickstart shit when it comes to fucking your records and shit too, because you know when you think about that, that's a thing of like some asshole will tell you to go get a fucking job because that's what they did to go make their whack ass record that no one bought, but that was their vision to put it. I already did all that shit. You know, now it takes way more money than I make in a year to make a record pop, and that's not a lot of money. So all these things, you know, they're necessary now, but it's real hard to ask people for it because if they know you so well, they're not trying to give you these things. They're not trying to help you out. They already did it in their mind, or for real. So it's real unfair to ask people like, pay for me to fly home, but you know, and to get home on time and in time to where I can still travel back and forth and do all this other shit and work and this and that. Yeah, it's gonna have to have some kind of outside influence, just like all this other shit is, because you can only do so much by yourself. So. LA, I hope I see you first week of May. If not, I'll see you when I see you. Blogs. What's up with me and blogs? I have GiovanniMarks.net, which not a lot of people read, but they do, but they don't, but they do. I write for StreetBoners and TVCarnage.com, which people read, and that's controversial, and they do, and they don't, and they do. On GiovanniMarks.net, I have a fucking link to all the other blogs I write to. BriefcaseRockers.com has been going on for a few years, and I occasionally post on there. You know, I try to let the other people post, but I realize even though we have like 25 writers, only 3 of them write, so it's time to redo that too. Matt Black Edition no longer exists. On the Caclo is my photo blog because I take pictures and shit among other things. Sharkbait, that's like sharkbaitsub.tumblr.com. That's my fucking blog about Sharkbait while working on Sharkbait. It's stopped at post 10 because I've been chilling, but you know, I'm gonna get back to that. iHeartComics.com, I write for them. Not as much as I should probably. I just always occasionally post, and it's usually a musical post. So any of this stuff, if you guys like all this shit, go check it out. I don't really care because I'm too busy doing it, but a lot of people who sit there and want to know about the writing thing, and you know, they may stumble across something and think that's just me writing. I do it all the time, so go fuck with it and clown it. SoundCloud.com/subtitle, that's me for music. If you want some music that's random, I'm not going to tell you these other secrets because those are fun. And stay tuned. I don't know.